In the 1970s, there was a movie called The Exorcist released, and it was truly legendary, phenomenal for multiple reasons. I've seen it. I want to review it again, but that'll come within time. But of course, in the wake of that, when one travels to Italy, there is a certain one that is called Shock from Mario Bava in 1977, in a career spanning 4 decades and encompassing virtually every genre under the sun. Mario Bava inspired multiple generations of filmmakers, from Dario Argento to Martin Scorsese and Tim Burton. Best remembered for his gothic horror movies. For his final feature, Shock, he eschewed the grand guignol excesses of Black Sabbath or Blood and Black Lace for a more intimate portrait of mental breakdown in which true horror comes from within. Daria Nicoletti, a deep red, moves back into her old family home with her husband, Bruno, John Steiner of Tenebrae, and Marco, David Collin Jr., beyond the door, her son from her previous marriage. But domestic bliss proves elusive as numerous strange and disturbing occurrences transpire, while Dora is haunted by a series of nightmares and hallucinations, many of them involving her dead former husband. Is the house itself possessed, or is Dora's increasingly fragile grip on reality really originating from somewhere far closer to home? Released in the United States as a sequel to a video G.S. Asinitis is, seriously. Where is that? Right there. Beyond the Door, Shock more than lives up to his name, proving that even at this late stage in his career, Bava hadn't lost his touch for terror. Now restored in high def for the first time, the Maestro of the Macabre's chilling swan song disturbs like never before in this feature-laden release from Arrow Video. And this one, yeah, sometimes you need more of the intimate portraits, you need more of just the understanding, like saying, hey, you can have all these over the top grand horrors, but sometimes it's the personal horrors just work well. I don't know. I think it's just that the actors have to put in more effort rather than have all these amazing sets to come in, which, yeah. I mean, obviously, you're going to have your Black Sundays, you're going to have your Eric the Conquerors and everything, but when you just get inside a house and the house itself seems to be possessed by something, what could it be? Who the heck knows? But yeah, it's a slow descent into madness and family values that pretty much just get eradicated. What even are family values nowadays? What I found this one to be interesting was, yeah, this lady has a skeleton in her closet. It's like, okay, it's like the typical Italian family, evergreen, if you will. Husband's a pilot, and the kid is 6 years old, and he's seemingly has an imaginary friend, but yet there's something going on. It's like, it's like the imaginary friend seems to possess the child himself into feeling like that, like, because, if you were, like, ghosts can often see children as a conduit because of weaker constitutions or whatever, and can infect them. It's like, and then the mother, she did some stuff in the past, because supposedly her husband committed suicide, which maybe it may not be. Who knows what happened, and it's her slow descent in mass as she spirals out of control. And you wonder what is happening. Well, it's the dynamic between the mother and son. I think it's called an Oedipus complex, Oedipus. It's either the mother goes after the son or vice versa. I'm trying to remember, and it's like, I like the chemistry between those two. It's like the son, as the mother slowly loses grip on reality, it's like the son is obviously getting possessed, but at the same time, she is dealing with the like what happened with her ex-husband. It's like both of them, oddly enough, have mustaches, kind of bad the mustaches aren't that bad. It was just probably common at the time to have something that's just like right here. So, one could see this as like I said, a deconstruction of the typical Italiano familia, and the performance that Daria Nicoletti does is just pretty dang good. I mean, at first she seems like she's got it all together. When she starts seeing these images and her son is misbehaving, and you start to wonder, okay, what's really going on? And even going to see a psychologist, we do see the psychologist has the son draw a tree. Said that like the trunk is not too thick and the branches are fine and it's well proportioned. Okay. And then mother and son is there. It's like the son is looking away from the mother, like not feeling enough warmth or love or something like that. I don't know. I barely know anything about psychology, but I think it's the clever use of the camera and the atmosphere here that works. Because we have this house, but it feels sterile, almost like there's something wrong with it, including like this postmodern shelving unit that's uses display decorations with place, but there's this giant size hand, and it just I don't know. It looks shiny, but also creepy at the same time, almost as if to say like, but like the hand is there's something more with it. And what is this something more with it? Well, I'll tell you in a minute. But yeah, it's like I don't know, just the house, how it feels sterile. What's the word? There's another word. Yeah, sterile. I guess of just there's something that's going on within here. So the way how Bava makes it happen. What with the postmodern furniture, the the shininess and the basement, especially that basement. Oh my word, it's a half finished basement where there's something going on down there. Well, it turns out that our heroine, quote unquote, actually pretty much just eliminated the guy, and then the husband made it look like it was a suicide with a boat or something like that. But all the while that they threw the body they threw the body in the basement and then bricked it up. And so the son is attracted to it, but he gets extremely cold. And as all that is happening, there is chaos ensuing. Yeah, there's chaos ensuing as everything's starting to fall down, and mother's trying to just make everything work. So it's obviously like saying, "Hey, the ex-husband with the mustached ex-husband wants revenge." And in that final sequences, there is some music, especially what is that, like an hour and 5 minutes in, roughly, like a piano used to heighten the tension. I forgot the band's name. It's not Goblin, but one kind of closer to it, add more of a surreal, sterile feel to everything going on. It was effective, especially towards at the end when the crescendo happens, like shoom, just like that. Pretty cool stuff. There's also the hand that was mentioned. We also see a gangrene hand that belongs to the husband, who's sitting just just yeah. We see the gangrene hand, and it's a little gross, but it works well. It's like the lack of music in the music works well here. Personally, for me, one could view it as like, oh, this is just in the wake of The Exorcist and other movies that are akin to that, which, yeah, it's like you can obviously tell that there is some funny, we could say, yeah, the scares are kind of predictable, that it's almost comical in a way, which I could see. I was laughing a little bit over how it is, but I think with the lack of music, it does work. So your mileage is going to vary on this one. This was meant to be like a Stephen King-ish type movie or book, I guess you could say. And yeah, with the domestic horror and everything, it works out. At this time, Mario's movies were kind of having flops, so his son his son Lamberto convinced him to do one more, and it's like this one's actually not a bad one to go out on. His last two ones, of course, would be Rabid Dogs, which, just due to how it wasn't released until 1998, and he collaborated with Dario on Inferno. So he actually went on quite a good blaze of glory, literally, with Inferno. So yeah, ultimately, Shock. If I had to give this rating, it's like at times it was a little slow, and you may get bored by how slow it is, but that's fine. Like I said, these movies are not for everyone. We got some. I'm going to show some notes right here. The 6-year-old kid would only star in this movie, that and Beyond the Door 1. And nowadays he is, what is he, an economist, I think, somewhere in Florida or Washington, D.C., which I found to be pretty interesting. But yeah, I just think that the overall possession, it works. It's a slow burn, and then again, maybe at the end of the slow burn may or may not work for some people, because it doesn't get intensive. It just stays, I guess you could say, domestic. So say what you will about that. So as you're reading the notes right here, I'm not going to go through all because this review is already 11 minutes long. Holy smokes. But yeah, ultimately, there's more. Ultimately, with everything that I have said, do I recommend that you watch Shock? Yes.